If you're just joining us here at 6 o'clock, we're following a breaking story right now out of Hastings, Minnesota. This is new video of a fire at the former Hastings Co-op Creamery. Crews have been on scene for the past 6 hours trying to put out flames there. At one point, people were told to stay inside of their homes because ammonia was leaking from the building.
So this is the same creamery that closed just a few weeks ago. Of course, we have crews on scene right now who have new information to share. We have Cece as well as Eva out there. We're going to check in with them here in just a few minutes. But first, we got to start off with meteorologist John Ziegler for a look at this forecast.
Hey guys, this morning temperatures have the cooler weather has pushed east, but 32 in Hayward. As you go west, big difference. We're at 55 in Marshall, 55 in Moorhead. Twin Cities, we're at 52. St. Cloud, you're at 35. So today, about 8 degrees warmer in St. Cloud. Twin Cities, we're about 4 degrees. This is your high pressure just driving down temperatures in Wisconsin. Clearly something's happening here. We have a transition, and you have to have winds if you're going to drive up temperatures in the morning, right? There's no sun. How are you going to warm it up? South winds. And you have them pretty strong out here, 10 to 15. Still calm, but I think winds will increase throughout the afternoon here as we bring in those warmer temperatures. So quick spike up into the 70s today. So if you're going to go with the jacket, it's fine. It's borderline jacket weather. Just the kiddos, you might need to shed the layers as we go into the afternoon. We'll be in the low 80s out at recess. It's going to be a hot one. And then we'll talk about the rain chance tonight into tomorrow morning. That's going to be in your full forecast.
All right, thank you, John. I continue to follow this closure in Hastings because of that breaking news we told you about the fire at the creamery off Highway 61. And because of that fire, they have closed a portion of Highway 61, the portion right in front of the creamery, of course. You can see it's still blocked off there. What's closed? All right, from 15th Street down to County Road 47, both directions. You're going to have to find another way to get around that stretch. Jason?
All right, Jen, thank you. And let's get back to that breaking news happening over in Hastings. Crews have been on that scene for the past 6 hours, working to put out that massive fire at the Hastings Co-op Creamery.
Yeah, we've confirmed overnight at one point there was a dangerous chemical leaking from the building. And it's the same creamery that actually closed just a few weeks ago after 110 years in business. We have team coverage, but let's get to Cece, who just learned some new details about what happened.
Hi, good morning, guys. Yeah, so we did speak to the Hastings fire chief about an hour ago, and he said that they're still working to put out some hot spots that have popped up. He also says that there's been a command post that's been set up, and that's where we are right now. Hey, take a look at this. You can still see and smell the smoke coming from this building. Much less smoke than when I talked to you about 30 minutes ago, but still some smoke. You see here crews moving back and forth. The fire chief says crews are working multiple shifts and have been fighting this for over 7 hours at this point. There have been at least 10 different agencies here overnight and into this morning. Okay, so let's take a look at this new video that our crews got in overnight. Authorities say when they got here overnight, flames were shooting out of the roof. Just a few hours ago, we confirmed that ammonia was leaking from the building too. We're told some ammonia was released, but not into the surrounding neighborhoods. And a hazmat team here didn't find any air quality concerns throughout the neighborhoods either. The fire chief says the creamery uses ammonia for its coolant systems. Now, as far as damages go, the fire chief tells us that there's a lot of damage to this building. There's also multiple spots on the roof that are damaged, but he couldn't confirm if the building was a total loss or not. One piece of good news, though, the fire chief tells us that no one has been hurt during this incident. So we're working to gather new information every 30 minutes, and we'll be back in 30 minutes with more. I'll send things back to you.
All right, Cece Gaines reporting live from the scene. Thank you very much. Now, we heard from neighbors in the area overnight. They said the city sent them out an alert, a warning. It's what's called a reverse 911 call. It's something that emergency officials use to warn people as fast as possible about a dangerous situation that's happening near their home.
And we do have a recording of what was sent to residents and their reaction to the fire. Listen to this.
Due to heavy smoke in the area, we are asking that you remain in your residences with the windows and doors closed and your HVAC systems off.
Nobody should even be out right now because it's very dangerous.
Yeah, if you're sitting at your home and you get that in the middle of the night, absolutely terrifying for people in that area. So in 30 minutes, though, we're going to hear from a man who says this isn't the first time there's been concerns about ammonia coming from the former creamery. Now, the creamery, as we mentioned, has been closed since August 18th after being in business for 110 years. In June, the Metropolitan Council disconnected the creamery from the sewer after it dumped thousands of gallons of milk and cream into the system. When the creamery closed, the state was looking for someone to buy it. And be sure to stay with us for updates on the fire on the creamery all night, or all day long, rather. We're live in Hastings all morning, showing you what the scene looks like now. And you, of course, can find updates on air and at KARE11.com.
6:05 on the clock, and breaking news in the last 3 hours near the Minnesota-Iowa border. A suspect is in custody after allegedly shooting a police officer. Iowa State Patrol says this all happened in Algona near Minnesota Street around 8 last night. For several hours, the public was asked to stay indoors as police searched for that suspect. He was taken into custody just before midnight.
This morning, a 19-year-old man is facing charges after a St. Catherine student says she was held captive in her dorm room and abused for 3 straight days. Kiana Labatt of Granite Falls is facing 5 felony charges in connection with those assaults. They range from waterboarding to rape, according to a criminal complaint. If convicted, he could spend nearly 100 years in prison. Unfortunately, sexual assault on college campuses is very common. An expert we spoke to tells us recognizing healthy relationships is one of the key steps in preventing sexual and domestic violence.
Are they isolating you from your family and friends? Are they putting you in situations that make you feel uncomfortable and unsafe? I think those are some of the biggest red flags.
We also spoke with the victim's father, who tells us he's disappointed with how St. Catherine handled the situation and wants to learn more about security in the dorm rooms. We asked St. Kate's officials about that specifically. They said they couldn't comment because of an ongoing investigation.
Developing right now, all eyes are on the auto industry. Nearly 150,000 members of the United Auto Workers Union want a new contract by 11:59 tonight, or they'll go on strike. So these are workers at the 3 big automakers, Ford, GM, and the owners of Chrysler. There's reportedly a wide divide between labor and management. If a new deal isn't reached, they'll walk off the job. If a strike happens, this will be the first time in the union's 80-plus year history where all 3 companies go on strike. And speaking of strikes, also developing right now, it's the last day for hundreds of union Hormel food workers in Austin, Minnesota to vote on a new contract. Employees want a significant raise and more secure pensions. If a deal isn't reached, employees could go on strike. We should know the results of the vote by tomorrow.
In the next few hours, you'll be able to roll up your sleeve and get the latest COVID booster shot. The latest vaccine is approved for everyone over 5 years old. It was given the green light by both the FDA and the CDC this week. The FDA says you can get an updated booster shot from either Pfizer or Moderna, regardless of whether you were previously vaccinated. People who have been vaccinated should wait at least 2 months after their last COVID shot before getting a new booster.